Welcome to Trivia Clips. Think you really know one of the most underrated bands of the British invasion? This is part 1 of the Zombies, True or False Challenge. You have 5 seconds to answer each question. True or false? Let's test your knowledge about this psychedelic and Baroque pop band. 1. The Zombies formed in London in the 1970s. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, false. They formed in 1961 in St. Albans, England. That makes them one of the earliest British invasion bands. Rod Argent and Colin Blunstone were founding members. Their unique sound blended jazz, rock, and Baroque pop. They rose just before the Beatles took off. 2. She's Not There was their debut single. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, true. It was released in 1964 and became a huge hit. The song reached number 2 in the US and number 12 in the UK. Its jazzy chord progressions and eerie vibe stood out. Rod Argent wrote it in one afternoon. It became an instant classic of the British invasion. 3rd, Rod Argent was the lead singer of the Zombies. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false? Correct answer. False. Rod Argent was the keyboardist and songwriter. Colin Blunstone was the lead vocalist. Blunstone's breathy, emotional voice defined their sound. Argent provided harmonies and haunting organ riffs. Their chemistry created timeless melodies. 4. Their second hit was Time of the Season. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. It came from their 1968 album, Odessey and Oracle. Although the band had already broken up, it became a hit. The song hit number 3 in the US Billboard Hot 100. Its whispered verses and catchy hooks made it unforgettable. It's their most streamed song today. The 5th, Odessey and Oracle, was a commercial success at first. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, false. It was critically praised but didn't sell well initially. The album gained recognition decades later. Today, it's considered one of the greatest psychedelic albums ever. Misspelling Odyssey in the title became iconic. The original pressings are now collector's items. 6. The Zombies toured the US with the Rolling Stones. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, true. In 1965, they joined the Stones and other British acts. The tour helped them gain popularity in the US. They played to thousands of screaming fans. American radio stations embraced their singles. It boosted their early international exposure. 7. The band broke up before their biggest hit charted. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, true. They disbanded in 1968 before Time of the Season became a hit. It reached the top of the charts posthumously. They had no idea it would explode in the US. Some imposter bands even toured as the Zombies. The success came too late for the original group. 8. Chris White played lead guitar for the band. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, false. Chris White was the bassist and songwriter. Paul Atkinson played lead guitar. White wrote several tracks for Odessey and Oracle. He helped shape their distinct lyrical style. His role was more melodic than flashy. 9. This Will Be Our Year became a hit single in the 60s. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. It wasn't released as a single back then. It became popular decades later through film and TV. Now it's one of their most beloved songs. Its hopeful message resonates with modern audiences. It's often used at weddings and New Year celebrations. 10. The Zombies were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. They were inducted in 2019. It was on the 50th anniversary of Time of the Season. Artists like Tom Petty and Dave Grohl praised their influence. Many said their time had finally come. It was a long overdue honor for a timeless band. End of part 1. How many did you get right? Stay tuned for part 2. The deeper cuts, legends, and hidden truths about the Zombies. Welcome back to Trivia Clips. This is part 2 of the Zombies. True or false challenge. You've got 5 seconds per question. Let's go deeper into the undead legends. 11. Colin Blunstone quit music after the band broke up. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. He stepped away from music briefly in 1969. He worked in an insurance office, but fans pushed him to return. He released solo albums in the 1970s. His voice remained as haunting as ever. The 12th Rod Argent formed another successful band after the Zombies. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, true. He formed the band Argent in the 1970s. Their hit Hold Your Head Up became a classic. It had a heavier, more progressive rock sound. Argent proved he was more than a one-band artist. His keyboard solos became iconic. 13. The band reunited for a world tour in the early 1970s. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. They didn't reunite until decades later. Blunstone and Argent toured again in the 2000s. The reunion was warmly received by fans. They played classic albums live in full. It revived their legacy with a new audience. 14. Their music was featured in Quentin Tarantino's films. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer. False. Tarantino never used their songs, yet. But their music has been featured in other films. Time of the Season appeared in Awakenings and the Vietnam War. Their songs bring a dreamy, nostalgic vibe, perfect for dramatic or emotional scenes. 15. The Zombies used orchestras in their studio recordings. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, true. They used mellotron, strings, and complex arrangements. Their recordings were layered and rich in detail. It gave them a chamber pop, Baroque feel. This set them apart from other British invasion bands. Odessey and Oracle was their masterpiece in that style. 16. Tell Her No was banned from U.S. radio for suggestive lyrics. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. The song was never banned. It was released in 1965 and reached the U.S. top 10. Its lyrics were tame compared to others of the time. The song featured Blunstone's soft, pleading vocals. It remains one of their early hits. 17. They were originally called the Mustangs. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, true. Before becoming the Zombies, they were briefly the Mustangs. They changed it to avoid confusion with other bands. The new name felt more unique and edgy. Rod Argent thought it was quirky and memorable. It fit their mysterious, dreamy sound. 18. They were managed by Brian Epstein. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, false. They were never managed by Epstein. Their manager was Ken Jones early on. Jones also produced their early singles. Epstein managed the Beatles, not the Zombies, though both bands emerged from the same scene. 19. They were more popular in the US than in the UK. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer. True, their biggest hits charted higher in the US. Time of the Season barely made waves in the UK. Tell Her No and She's Not There did better overseas. They found greater success across the Atlantic. America embraced their sound more warmly. 20th. The original lineup reunited for their Hall of Fame induction. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. The surviving original members played together at the ceremony. They performed their classics live on stage. It was an emotional and celebratory moment. Fans and artists honored their long journey. A perfect ending for one of rock's quiet giants. End of part 2. What was your final score? Comment below and subscribe for more rock history challenges.